Hey guys, in this video we'll learn problem solving skills in C language. Before getting into this video, let me introduce myself. I am Nadapura Aditi, pursuing BTech in Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women in CSE. I was guided by Dr. M. Prasad, Associate Professor at Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Autonomous Bhimavaram. Let's get into our agenda of this presentation. So, in this presentation, we're going to solve a problem statement given. So first, we'll study the problem statement, and then we understand the problem statement. Then we design an algorithm to solve that problem, and we write a code. And after writing the code, we're going to check the working of that code. Now, let's get into our problem statement. Our problem statement is Hamsini wants to set a password to lock her laptop in order to secure the data. She wants to set 16-digit password. Also, she wants to include her birth year 2002 in that password. She wants to include 8 alphabets and 4 special symbols other than the space in any order followed by her birth year. So, help her to choose valid password. Your task is to print whether the password is valid or invalid. If it is valid, then print the difference of sum of ASCII values of alphabets, sum of ASCII values of special symbols, and ASCII values of digits of birth year, or else return -1. So let's understand our problem. At first, Hamsini wants to set up her password to her laptop. So it consists of 16 digits, in which she wants to include 8 alphabets. She didn't mention it that it should be only lowercase or uppercase, so it can be any of that, but it should be of 8 alphabets and 4 special symbols other than space, so we should not include space in that password. Then they are followed by birth year. That means password must end with birth year. So after that, we have to check the validity of the password. After checking the validity, if it is valid, then we have to calculate that is sum of ASCII values of alphabets minus sum of alphabets of special symbols minus sum of ASCII values of birth year. And if it is invalid, we have to return -1 from that function. So our required string can be represented as this, in which last 4 are always birth year, and we have to set up conditions till this one, like we have to apply 8 alphabets and 4 special symbols, all the conditions in these indexes. So let us design our algorithm to solve this problem. So first we have to start our program and then declare and initialize some integer variables. We'll discuss all these variables while we go through our algorithm. First, we have to read the password from the user and store that password in string named password. First and foremost thing is the password length must always be 16 digits. So first we'll check the length of the password, whether it is 16 or not. So when it is 16, then the following steps are being executed. Then if the string length of password is equals to 16, then we have to check whether password 12 is equals to 2, password 13 is equals to 0, and password 14 is equals to 0, and password 15 is equals to 2. So when this condition is satisfied, we'll go through the following steps. The thing we have to find out is number of alphabets and number of special symbols present, and sum of all the alphabets used and all the special symbols used. So now we write a for loop in which we keep password if password I matches ASCII values of alphabets, whether it is lower or upper, then we calculate alpha. Here, alpha variable represents number of alphabets present. So each and every time this condition satisfies, we get number of alphabets present in it. And in sum alpha plus equals to password I, we store the ASCII value sum of all the alphabets we all the passwords which are given by the user. So here sum alpha plus equals to password I. When we keep a character or when we perform arithmetic operations using a character, the in a default manner, the ASCII value of that alphabet is stored in that password I, or it is implemented during the mathematical operation. So we'll get the ASCII value of sum of ASCII values of all the alphabets. In a similar way, we match the if it matches any special symbols also, we calculate a number of special symbols. SPSYM here it means special symbols, and as sum SPSYM means sum of ASCII values of special symbols. After that we end looping, and we also want sum of ASCII values of birth year. So they start from 12, right? So from I is equals to 12 to I is equals to 15, right? We increase it by 1 and we find the sum of ASCII values of birth year also. After these two conditions, we check whether alpha is equals to 8 and special symbol SPSYM is equals to 4, because that is the requirement of the user, right? So if both are satisfied, then we print valid password. And they asked another thing, if you remember, if it is valid, we need to print the sum of ASCII values of alphabets minus sum of ASCII values of special symbols minus sum of ASCII values of birth year. So we find it easily by the when we calculated it by using a variable here. So we can find the difference easily, and we can print the difference and increase the flag by 1. So why do we use flag variable here? We can also use if else statements. When we need, even that also mean the same. So when flag any of the above conditions is failed, flag will never be equals to 1. So automatically if flag is equals to 0, it will print invalid password and return -1. So this is our algorithm for solving this problem. Let us get into a program of the given problem. Now, let's discuss our code for the given problem. At first, we include all the header files required, that are stdio.h and string.h. And then we use integer return type main function, because we are asked to return -1 when the password is invalid. And after that, we declare and initialize our required variables which we have discussed in our algorithm before. So here I used finish as an flag variable. So car password is the string where we store the password given by the user. First, we are asking for a password from the user, means we are reading the password from the user, and then so first we had checked the string length condition whether it is 16 or not, and then we are checking whether the last four digits are 2002, means 200 and 2 respectively. And then if it is true, we use for loop, in which first we kept ASCII values of uppercase alphabets or ASCII values of lowercase alphabets. And if that condition is satisfied, alpha is incremented by 1. And sum alpha, here we are calculating the sum of ASCII values of alphabets. And in the same manner, while coming to special symbols, I started it with 33, because We already know that from 32 onwards our special symbols start, but ASCII value of space is 32. In the given question, we should not consider the space. So I took from 33 onwards and all the other conditions for special symbols. For each and every true condition, SPSYM is incremented by 1 and sum of ASCII values of special symbols are also calculated with it. And then we are using for loop from 12 to 16 to find the sum of ASCII values of birth year, that is 2, 0, 0 and 2. And then we are checking whether alpha is equals to 8 and special symbols are equals to 4. So when this condition is satisfied, we are printing valid password and we are printing difference by sum alpha minus sum SPYM minus some birth. And then we have increased the flag variable into to 1. So if finish is equals to 0, then we are printing it invalid password and the process will return minus 1. And if it is true, if valid password is, we had got a valid password, then we are returning 0 from this main function. Let us run the program to check whether the output is correct or incorrect.